Hello friends and potential friends. Well, December 25th, Christmas Day in Central Florida. A little bit too chilly for going to the beach, so I guess I won't be having a white Christmas this year. But I know a lot of my friends up north are having them, so I'll just share in it with them. Just figured I'd get out and give a little bit of an update on what's growing out in the garden and see what we have to offer. Glancing around at the patio, we got tomato that my buddy up the street brought me. Always seem to wind up with his spares. A few more over in one of the raised beds. One of my papayas, some rosemary, and horseradish and elderberry still hanging in there. Turmeric still hanging in. A few more rosemaries down there. And the ginger's still green, still growing. Lemongrass is doing good. Pineapples being pineapples. Looks like most of the leaves have fallen off of the basil out here, but the fig's still hanging in there. And you notice the sugar cane's gone. I finally put it in the ground out there. Put a few of the rosemaries in the ground too. And oh look, the datills are all decorated for Christmas. All ripening up just in time. And let's see, the squash vine is pretty much passed off. A little bit of it's still hanging in there, but the squash stopped growing, started drying out. And I made a discovery. It wasn't a squash, it was a loofah. So I'll be grabbing those seeds out of there and put them in the ground somewhere for next year. Funny thing is, I didn't think I planted any loofah this year. Haven't had much luck with them in the past, but that one just decided to surprise me. And here's where I put some of the rosemary in the ground. Also added a number of tomato plants. If y'all remember when I first planted the tomatoes, they got hit with worms right off the bat, and I was worried they were going to die. So I planted some more seeds. These along here are Roma. And here's the original Amish paste. Not seeing any blossoms on them yet, but they are still growing, staying alive. This end of the bed does not get nearly enough sunlight to keep them happy. But this whole bed is filled up with tomatoes now. Second bed, the kale's still growing. Things are kind of slow this time of year with the cooler temperatures, but they do keep growing. Got plenty of garlic planted around the edges. Little bit of Swiss chard here and there. It's trying to come up. Only a few of those came up this year for some reason. I'm not sure why. Lettuce is doing good. I've already had a salad out of it. And then down here I filled in with a few more tomatoes my friend up the street brought me. Seemed to wind up with his leftovers. He winds up with mine. Of course the sweet potatoes still going. I'll never get rid of those. And what's really surprising me is the cilantro is still growing good and hasn't started bolting yet. At least not too much. A couple of them look like they're going to try to bolt, but most of them are still growing. I'll be able to get some spices out of that pretty soon. And out on the last bed, we still have a few sweet potatoes mixed in here and there. But these are the delicious beefsteak tomatoes, and they are trying to put on some fruit for me. Got blossoms. One there that looks like it might be starting to form a tomato. There are a number of blossoms on these ones. I haven't been picking suckers off of them. I just haven't bothered. Last week's been kind of overcast and rainy, so I haven't been out here very much. But everything seems to be happy with it. Mustard greens are starting to grow up, and I'm gonna have to start thinning them out a little bit. And the collards are starting to grow. I have to thin those out a little bit too. And hanging out back here in the compost pile, these sweet potatoes are doing real good. Growing well. There's a sugar cane right there that's coming up. My onion's still going. There was a potato in here, but first time it turned cool, it fell over and dried up, so I guess that's done with. Still have a loquat down here. Still have what I'm still convinced is poison ivy. I'm not gonna pick it and find out. And back here in the back corner, moringa's still growing. Sugar cane still growing. I probably need to cut all that back and replant it. My fig is still going. My loquat that I put in the ground out here is growing good. And my ponderosa lemon still has some fruit on it. And the one that I'm really watching, because I plan on getting some seeds out of that. And incidentally, did I mention it's Christmas Day? Why is this thing still blooming? They sure smell good though. Oh, there's another one up there. Love the smell of citrus blossoms, especially in December. So that's just a real quick look around. For all my friends out there, I hope everybody is having a wonderful holiday season. This is our pretty much a typical Christmas in Central Florida. Sometimes we see 60, sometimes we see 80. This year we're just right in the middle. Happy holidays, everybody. I'll see you on the next one.